But in a war which has so far killed nearly 1 million fighting men in the British Empire, that we would shy from shooting our own. But discipline has to be maintained, and if this war has proved anything, it is that victory comes at a price, and that mass citizen armies are brittle things, easily broken when discipline is relaxed. I am Major R.C. Hills, Deputy Assistant Adjutant General to the General Commanding the Second Army here in France. Oh, Madame. I'm now putting together the last few documents in the file of number 11682, Private Madame. The last few documents in the file number 11682, Private Joseph Nisbet of the 1st Battalion, the Leicestershire Regiment, charged with desertion. You might like to hear the facts of the case. What follows is based upon the records of the hearing and the procedure laid down in the Manual of Military Law. The court-martial took place in the Dickiebush Lake sector, a couple of miles southwest of Ypres, where the first Leicesters were strung out along a row of 5 farms. A contemporary account of a similar trial will serve to set the scene for us. The court-martial was held in an old farm lying just outside the village. There was a large courtyard where the chickens clucked all day and the children and cattle roamed unchecked in the spacious midden. The courtroom was unusually suitable to its purpose, being panelled all round in some dark wood with great black beams under a whitewashed ceiling, high and vaulted, and an open hearth crackled heartlessly all day. Usually these trials are conducted in the best bedroom of some estaminet, and the court sits defensively with a vast white bed to their backs. Oui, madame. And the court sits defensively with a vast white bed to their backs. But this room was strangely dignified and legal, only at first Madame persisted in marching through it with saucepans to the kitchen. All these curious English functions were the same to her: a Christmas dinner, a mess meeting, or the trial of a soldier for his life. This, then, is the case of Joseph Nisbet.
Hello, me bonny bairns and lasses. I'm Joseph Nisbet, born 1891 in Newbottle, near Hortonley Spring, County Durham. I didn't much like this army, and I didn't think it likes me neither. Between you and me, because I didn't think this lot knew about it, I first joined up in 1911 when I was 20 years old, really just to get away from the pit, like, you know. I lasted 85 days at Durham Light Infantry Depot before the letters gone. They said, not being likely to become an efficient soldier on account of my conduct. But they didn't stop the signing again on September 1914 when my country Lord Kitchener really needed us. Though I probably wasn't their best bargain to get about a year. I joined up at Leicester and was posted to the 8th Leicesters at Borley Camp. I went to France with them in July 1915, although I didn't see a lot of what you might call active service with them. In January 1970, I was back at the depot and then posted over to the 1st Leicesters, regular as they are, and hard as nails. I'd like to say I fit in, but I don't. Anyway, it looks as if the fun's about to start, so I'll shove off. But I'll see you all later. After all, I am the star of the show.
Are we ready, gentlemen? I shall read from Army Form A3, the order convening this court. On active service this 8th day of August 1918. Whereas it appears to me, the undersigned, an officer in command of 71st Infantry Brigade on active service, that the persons named in the annexed schedule, being subject to military law, have committed the offences in the schedule mentioned. And whereas I am of opinion that it is not practical that such offences should be tried by an ordinary general court-martial, and it is not practical suitable to delay the trial for reference to a superior qualified officer, I hereby convene a Field General Court-Martial to try the said persons and to consist of the officers hereunder named. As President, Major Lord Tainham, 1st the Buffs. As members, Captain C. Armitage, 1st Battalion, King Shropshire Light Infantry, Lieutenant A.A. Lilly, 1st Battalion, the Buffs, and Captain W.A. Cummins, Chief Medical Officer of the 19th Corps. Signed, H. Millward, Lieutenant Colonel, commanding 71st Infantry Brigade.
I should perhaps point out that military law is just as defined as civil law. We are governed by the Army Act and the Manual of Military Law, which provide a hierarchy of courts. Major Lord Tainham is convening a Field General Court-Martial, which provides simple, summary justice suitable for troops on active service. The court is first sworn in. The two members are sworn and then they administer the oath to the President. The prosecutor, the accused and all the witnesses will also be sworn as they appear to give evidence. Major Lord Tainham, please take the New Testament in your right hand.
I, Major Lord Tainham, do swear that I will well and truly try the accused before the court according to the evidence, and that I will duly administer justice according to the Army Act now in force without partiality, favour or affection, and I do further swear that I will not divulge the sentence of the court until it is duly confirmed, and I do further swear that I will not on any account at any time whatsoever disclose or discover the vote or opinion of any particular member of this court-martial, unless thereunto required to in due course of law. So help me God. Good, well, let us have the prisoner. You are number 11682, Private Joseph Nisbet, 1st Battalion, the Leicestershire Regiment.
Yes, sir.
Do you have any objection to a member of this court?
No, sir.
The accused is charged with, when on active service, deserting His Majesty's service under Army Act, Section 12, Paragraph 1A, in that he, near St Hubert's Hope, on the 15th of July 1918, absented himself from his battalion after being warned to proceed to the front line trenches, and remained absent until apprehended near Calais on the 18th of July 1918. How do you plead?
Not guilty, sir.
You may sit down, Private Nisbet.
Thank you, sir.
The accused is allowed a seat as a matter of course in the case of an officer, and in any other case where the court thinks proper. Private Nisbet is permitted a legal advisor or friend. There's clearly little possibility of bringing a barrister from England, but Nisbet is here supported by his platoon officer, Lieutenant Samuel McKee Geddes. The prosecution was normally conducted by the battalion adjutant. In this case, it is Captain Richard Neville Davis of the 1st Leicesters.
Captain Davis, would you outline the case against the accused?
Certainly, sir. I will show that the accused absented himself without leave from the trenches and remained absent until he was apprehended near a base depot 3 days later. It is the contention of this court that the accused deliberately absconded and had no intention of returning to active service. With your permission, sir, I shall call my first witness. Lance Corporal Beck.
Take the New Testament in your right hand.
The evidence I give before this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God. I'm number 27167, Lance Corporal A. Beck, 1st Battalion, Leicestershire Regiment. On the 15th of July 1918, in the reserve trenches near Hubert's Hope, I was there when Lance Corporal Passingham warned the section at 8 p.m. to be prepared to move up to the front line at 10:45 p.m.
And was the accused present?
The accused was in the section there and was present when the warning was given. At 10:45 p.m. we proceeded to the line. The accused was then absent.
And did the accused return?
I saw the accused next when I was detailed as witness in this case.
Thank you, Corporal. Has the accused any questions for the witness?
No, thank you, sir.
Good. I shall now read to the court my note of the evidence. I shall do this in the case of every witness. If neither the accused nor court record has anything to add, we shall proceed with the next witness. Captain Davis.
Please call Captain Granger.
Take the New Testament in your right hand.
The evidence which I shall give before this court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God.
You are Captain E.H. Granger, the Royal Army Medical Corps, and attached to the accused battalion as medical officer.
I am.
Can you recall the events of the 15th of July 1918?
I can. At about 8:30 p.m, the accused reported sick. I carefully examined him and marked him Attend A.
And please explain to the court what that means.
This means that the accused was considered fit to perform his duty, and I would see him again at the next sick parade on the following day.
And did the accused attend sick parade?
I did not see the accused again.
Mr. Gillis.
What reason did the prisoner give for reporting sick?
The accused complained of pain.
Thank you, Captain Granger.
Call Sergeant Hoddinott.
Take the New Testament in your right hand.
The evidence which I will give before this court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
You are number 8226, Sergeant Hoddinott, the 1st Leicestershire Regiment.
Yes, sir.
And do you recall the events of the 15th of July 1918?
I do, sir. On the 15th of July 1918, in consequence of orders, I paraded the platoon at 10:45 p.m. to proceed to the front line. The accused is in my platoon.
Was Private Nisbet present when you paraded the platoon?
No, sir, he was absent from this parade.
And when did you next see the accused?
I saw the accused on the 26th of July when the summary was taken.
Have you any questions for the witness, Lieutenant Geddes?
No, sir.
I call the final witness for the prosecution, Sergeant Stewart.
Take the New Testament in your right hand.
The evidence which I shall give before this court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God.
Captain Davis, your witness.
Thank you. You are number 7782, Sergeant Stewart, the 2nd King's Own Scottish Borderers.
I am, sir. I am Provost Sergeant of number 4 Medical Base Depot at Beaumaris near Calais.
And would you tell the court how you came across the accused?
Sir, I was patrolling the trenches and dugouts behind the Medical Board Base Depot. I found the accused in one of the dugouts. I asked him what he was doing there, and the accused replied that he only came to have a sleep.
And what did you say to that?
I asked him which depot he belonged to. The accused said to K Depot.
I take it you were suspicious. What did you do then?
I took the accused paybook, and after examining it, I took him to the accused to the guard tent.
And how was the accused dressed?
The accused was in clean fatigues without rifle and equipment.
Do you wish to cross-examine, Lieutenant Geddes?
We do not, sir.
Thank you, Sergeant Stewart. Very good. We shall proceed then to the defence. Private Nisbet, take the New Testament in your right hand.
I swear that the evidence which I shall give before this court shall be the whole truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God.
Now then, do you wish to make a statement?
I do, sir. On the night in question, I went sick. I was in a very dazed condition. I've been ailing ever since I came to the battalion on the 27th of April this year.
If there is no cross-examination, you may sit, Private Nisbet. Lieutenant Geddes, is there anything else you wish to say on behalf of the accused?
Just, sir, that the accused was certainly ill on that particular night, even according to the doctor and his statement made on oath.
Thank you all. The court is now closed.
The prisoner is now withdrawn and the court considers its verdict. To avoid undue influence from senior ranks, the most junior officer speaks first, a daunting prospect for a chap fresh from school where the death penalty is concerned. If Nisbet has been acquitted, he will be released without further ado. If not, no announcement will be made until the verdict and sentence have been confirmed by higher authority.
Private Nisbet. The court has no findings to announce. We shall instead take evidence as to the character of the accused. Captain Davis, you are the adjutant of the prisoners' battalion and have sworn upon oath to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, sir. I produce Army Form B122, certified as a true copy relating to the accused. The accused is at present undergoing 90 days field punishment number 1 and is under 3 suspended sentences.
Thank you, Captain Davis. Does the accused wish to introduce any evidence or make a statement as to character?
No, sir.
Then the court is closed.
The court is closed, but our business has not finished. Bear with us a moment, because we shall move on to Act 2 of our little drama. The discussion of Private Nisbet's fate continues, and we shall meet new characters with different points of view. You will see they arrange themselves behind the desk here. And you will see that we have some quite senior people to consider. And the members of the court will now consider Nisbet's sentence. Nisbet's character and conduct are at the centre of the discussion. In fact, Private Nisbet's conduct history, produced by Captain Davis, fills several pages. The record of his dismissal from the Durham Light Infantry in 1911 is not there, but there is plenty to show Nisbet's frequent conflicts with authority. In August 1915, he quitted the ranks without permission, and in March 1916 showed willful defiance of disobeying an order, each time earning field punishment, a combination of loss of privileges such as leave, rum, and also irksome defaulters' chores, and an hour a day fettered to a gun or wagon wheel. Within a few days, Nisbet's willful defiance brought him a 3-year prison sentence, later commuted first to 1 year and then 85 days field punishment number 1. In April 1916, he quit the ranks without urgent necessity and was sentenced to a year's imprisonment with hard labour. But we were short of men for the front line, and the sentence was again commuted to 85 days field punishment. More willful defiance in May 1916 brought a death sentence, commuted first to 10 and then 2 years imprisonment. Now you might imagine that military prison would dampen his ardour, but apparently not. He attempted to strike the governor of Blagy's prison, a Captain Basher, would you believe, and received another 4 years on the 29th of December 1916. Even that sentence was suspended, and on the 26th of April 1918, Nisbet was posted to the 1st Leicesters. Within 2 months, Nisbet attended his 7th Field General Court Martial, receiving 2 years imprisonment, reduced to 90 days field punishment, for disobeying a lawful command and that old favourite, conduct to the prejudice of good order and military discipline. He was also awarded another 90 days for losing by neglect his small box respirator, his gas mask. The finding of this court is that Private Nisbet was guilty of desertion whilst on active service, and the sentence, death. There was no recommendation from mercy. However, that sentence has to be confirmed, and so the proceedings of the court-martial will be sent up the chain of command so that increasingly senior officers may review and comment upon the case. Private Nisbet's fate rests first, then, with his battalion commander, Lieutenant Colonel Francis Latham, DSO. Colonel Latham does not mince his words.
This man is not a good soldier from a fighting point of view, and apart from this, his character is distinctly bad. This man's company commander considers that he has a disturbing and very bad influence on the other men in his company. His company commander is of the opinion that this crime was deliberately committed. I consider that the extreme penalty should be inflicted in this case, as the man has had his chance on several previous occasions of redeeming himself and evidently does not intend to soldier. He has been sentenced to death on the previous occasion, the sentence being subsequently commuted, and he is at present serving under 3 suspended sentences and actually undergoing 90 days field punishment number 1. I am of the opinion that it is distinctly bad for discipline to have a man of such little value as a soldier and with such a disgraceful record moving about with men who were doing their duty. A man of this sort must have a bad effect on the morale of any men who may come into contact with him. If the death sentence be not carried out, I recommend that he should undergo any period of penal servitude to which it may be commuted. F. Latham, Lieutenant Colonel, commanding 1st Battalion, the Leicestershire Regiment, the 11th of August, 1918.
It might be worth remembering here that as the Manual of Military Law makes clear, the object of awarding punishment is the maintenance of discipline, and the proper amount of punishment to be inflicted is the least amount by which discipline can be efficiently maintained. The papers now pass to the Brigadier, Lieutenant Colonel Millward.
Reference to the Field General Court Martial on Private J. Nisbet, 1st Leicestershire Regiment. 1. The state of discipline in this battalion is good. 2. I recommend that the extreme penalty should be carried out. 3. He has been sentenced to death before. He has not tried to redeem his character, and he has a very bad influence on any of the men who come into contact with him. H. Millward, Lieutenant Colonel, commanding 71st Infantry Brigade, 11th of August 1918.
From Millward, the file goes upwards to the Divisional Commander, General Martin.
I recommend that the death sentence be put into execution. Private Nisbet is useless as a soldier, is under 3 suspended sentences, and has had every chance. T. O. Marden, Major General, commanding 6th Division, 12th of August, 1918.
And on to the Commander of the 2nd Army, General Plumer.
I recommend that the sentence be carried out. Herbert Plumer, General, commanding 2nd Army, 14th of August, 1918.
Before reaching the Commander-in-Chief, the papers were inspected by the Deputy Judge Advocate General, whose opinion was vital to ensure fairness and legality.
It does not seem to be strictly true that the accused is under 3 suspended sentences, but as the sentences entered in the conduct sheet were certainly passed and confirmed, it does not appear to be necessary in the circumstances to inquire further what has become of each of them. Signed, Gilbert Mellor, Brigadier General, Deputy Judge Advocate General, 15th of August, 1918.
So, finally, the case reached the desk of the Commander-in-Chief, whose comment was brief and to the point.
Confirmed. D. Hague, Field Marshal, 19th of August, 1918.
The final slip of paper is a certificate from Captain A. R. Appleton Carr, Royal Army Medical Corps.
I certify that number 11682, Private J. Nisbet, of the 1st Battalion, Leicestershire Regiment, was executed by shooting at 5 a.m. on the 23rd of August, 1918.
The execution was carried out at Hillhoek, while Nisbet's battalion was in transit from Oudedon to Vinazil. Private Nisbet was buried with other British war dead at 9 Elms Cemetery, a few miles west of Poppering. The war diary of his battalion mentions neither the execution nor burial. Nisbet's grave, maintained by the Commonwealth War Graves Commission, bears no message from his family.
The record of my trial is at the National Archives. The top paper in the file is a document signed by Des Brown, Secretary of State for Defence no less. It reads, "This document records that Private J. Nisbet of the 1st Battalion Leicestershire Regiment, who was executed for desertion on the 23rd of August 1918, is pardoned under Section 359 of the Armed Forces Act 2006. The pardon stands as recognition that he was one of many victims of the First World War and that execution was not a fate he deserved." Now, what do you think?
Thank you very much. We are very happy to take questions and even happier to hear comments. We do genuinely open it up for discussion if you have something to say.